Have you ever wondered what led to the ongoing Israel-Gaza conflict? Why is peace seemingly elusive in this region? It's a question that's been asked time and time again. The Israel-Gaza conflict is a complex issue, steeped in a history that spans decades. It's a narrative filled with clashing ideologies, territorial disputes, and political maneuvers, all interwoven in a way that makes it difficult to untangle. But to truly grasp the intricacies of the present, we must journey back through time. In order to understand the current situation, we need to delve into the past. The roots of this conflict stretch back decades, even centuries. Let's start our journey in 1987. This year marks the birth of Hamas at the onset of the First Palestinian Intifada, a widespread uprising against Israel's occupation of the West Bank and Gaza Strip. Fast forward to 1993, the first Oslo Accord is signed. This agreement aimed to establish peace between Israel and the Palestinians. However, Hamas opposes this peace process. As we move into the new millennium, the year 2000, the Second Intifada begins. Palestinian protests erupt over a visit by Israeli opposition leader Ariel Sharon to the revered Al-Aqsa Mosque compound. In the span of 2001 to 2002, Hamas carries out a series of suicide bombings in Israel. This wave of violence marks a significant escalation in the conflict. By 2005, Israeli forces withdraw from Gaza, leaving it under the control of the Palestinian Authority. Just a year later, in 2006, Hamas captures Israeli conscript Gilad Shalit, leading to Israeli airstrikes and incursions. 2007 sees Hamas taking over Gaza in a brief yet brutal civil war. And in 2008, Israel launches a military offensive in Gaza, which results in a ceasefire after 22 days of fighting. Fast forward to 2012, another pivotal moment occurs when Israel kills Hamas's military chief of staff. This sparks Palestinian militant rocket fire and retaliatory Israeli airstrikes. In 2014, the conflict escalates further with the kidnapping and killing of 3 Israeli teenagers by Hamas, leading to a 7-week war. The year 2018 sees the start of Palestinian protests at Gaza's border with Israel. This leads to clashes and fighting between Hamas and Israeli forces. In May 2021, tensions escalate yet again, leading to clashes between Israeli police and Palestinian protesters, and eventually to a full-scale conflict with Hamas. As we can see, the conflict has been a series of escalations and de-escalations, marked by periods of intense violence and brief ceasefires. Now that we've traced the timeline of the conflict, we can better understand the current situation. The ongoing tension between Israel and Hamas is a culmination of decades of strife and conflict. The most recent escalation in May 2021 led to a full-blown conflict, after which both parties agreed to a ceasefire. However, the peace is fragile and the underlying issues remain unresolved. The situation is further complicated by events such as the Nationalist Flag March in Jerusalem, an annual event celebrating Israel's capture of the Old City in the 1967 Middle East War. This march, which passes through the Muslim Quarter, is seen by Palestinians and Hamas as both a territorial violation and a religious affront, threatening to reignite the violence. Tensions continue to rise in Jerusalem, with clashes between Palestinians and Israeli police happening frequently, particularly at the Al-Aqsa compound. The Israeli Prime Minister has supported the planned route of the march, creating further friction with the Palestinians. The complexity of the situation is evident, with no easy solutions in sight. The Israel-Gaza conflict is a deeply rooted issue, marked by decades of violence and failed peace processes. Today, we've journeyed through the complex timeline of this conflict, from the creation of Hamas during the First Palestinian Intifada in 1987 to the recent ceasefire in May 2021. We have seen the cyclical nature of this conflict, with periods of intense violence followed by tentative ceasefires. The challenges in reaching a lasting peace are immense and multifaceted. As we continue to observe the unfolding events, we hope for a future where peace prevails. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history of the Israel-Gaza conflict.